Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, stretching lazily and grabbing your phone, only to discover that Pi network has skyrocketed to an unbelievable $331,600 per coin. At first, it feels like a glitch. Maybe the app bugged out. Maybe your brain hasn't fully loaded yet. But no, this is real. That simple habit of tapping a button once a day has suddenly turned you into, well, something between a millionaire and a financial mystery. Sounds like a dream, right? Not so fast. At first glance, it seems like poverty would instantly disappear. Everyone with even a handful of Pi coins would become incredibly wealthy. No more financial struggles, no more begging, no more worrying about bills. But reality doesn't work like a fairy tale, and when money changes overnight, the consequences can get strange and chaotic. Within minutes, the world would erupt into confusion. People who once ignored crypto would suddenly treat their phones like sacred artifacts. That one friend who mocked you for mining Pi, he's now texting nonstop. "Hey, quick question, how do I recover my password?" Meanwhile, early adopters are staring at their screens, doing math they never thought they'd need. Wait, am I a millionaire? Or did I just accidentally out-earn a small country? But the real shockwave hits the global economy. If millions of people suddenly become extremely rich, traditional financial systems would begin to shake. Banks would panic. Governments would scramble. Why? Because wealth on this scale doesn't just make people rich, it disrupts the very idea of value. When everyone has money, money itself starts to lose meaning. And then comes the human reaction. People stop working. Why go to your 9-to-5 job when your phone just made you richer than your boss's boss, and possibly the company itself? Teachers might log into class just to say, "Well, congratulations everyone, financial freedom achieved. Homework is officially canceled forever." Sounds fun until society starts to feel the impact. With everyone suddenly eager to spend, demand for goods would skyrocket. Shops would empty out in hours. Prices would surge uncontrollably. That simple cup of tea you used to enjoy, it might now cost $1,000, not because it's better, but because money has become confusing. Inflation would spiral as the value of currency becomes unstable. In short, chaos, but with luxury cars. Governments would quickly step in, holding emergency meetings and possibly introducing strict regulations. Why? Because when wealth appears out of nowhere, it doesn't just make people rich, it creates imbalance. And here's the twist no one expects. Being rich would no longer feel special. If everyone is a millionaire, then being a millionaire doesn't mean much anymore. The concept of rich shifts. Suddenly, people start valuing things that can't be instantly multiplied. Skills, knowledge, creativity, and real-world contributions. That quiet person who learned coding, farming, or engineering, they might become more valuable than someone holding billions in digital coins. Society, in a strange way, begins to reset. Some people would use this opportunity wisely. They'd invest, build businesses, support communities, and create lasting value. Others would not. Sudden wealth has a funny way of exposing human behavior. Overspending, risky decisions, and scams would explode overnight. Because if there's one thing faster than crypto growth, it's people trying to take advantage of it. Luxury cars would be bought and crashed, mansions would be built and abandoned, and somewhere, someone would probably try to tip $50,000 for a plate of Momo just because they can. And in the middle of all this madness, you'd sit quietly staring at your phone again. That one simple tap per day changed everything. But then comes the deeper question. Was this real wealth or just a new kind of illusion? Because true financial stability isn't built overnight. It depends on systems, trust, and balance. And when those are shaken, even the largest numbers on a screen can feel uncertain. And there's one more thought that might keep you up at night. What if it crashes tomorrow? Because markets don't just go up, they fluctuate. And something that rises this fast can fall just as dramatically. One day you're calculating how many yachts you can buy, the next day you're Googling how to budget again. So yes, the idea of Pi Network reaching $331,600 overnight sounds exciting, almost magical. But in reality, it would likely create a world that's equal parts fascinating, funny, and deeply unstable. A world where everyone is rich, but no one is quite sure what that means anymore.